Welcome to the Dave Palma Show, the podcast that revives, restores, and awakens your innermost capabilities.
You have the training and the talent to succeed, but do you have the guts to fail?
I love what I do. When you love what you do, you want to be the best at it.
Today is about the power of you. You will change the world.
Find your path to success through the journey of those who have succeeded. And now, your host, Dave Palma.
Hi, welcome to the Dave Palma Show. And with me in this episode, I have an accountability and peak performance coach, Jeff Wickersham. Welcome to the Dave Palma Show.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure to have you, Jeff. Pleasure to have you. And always excited to have someone who has a really great story to inspire our listeners. And, you're kind of like real spot on with, the sort of stuff that I like to encourage people to do, which is really to really be accountable. And I think your message really does, is spot on in terms of consistency, really reaching your goal, and then that's a kind of thing. You couldn't really get any simpler than that, but obviously it is complicated in a way, isn't it? So I'll let you tell your story first, and then we can discuss the accountability coaching that you do. Tell us your story. What happened to you?
Yeah, so my story really began 7.5 years ago. So I spent about 20 years in corporate America, and 7.5 years ago, I lost my mom to breast cancer. So when you watch the woman that brought you into this world leave this world, all of a sudden, the fragility of life smacks you right in the face, right? And it was a deep, searing pain that I've never felt. Days, weeks, months ahead, I just tried to process everything as best I could. And then I really decided that I had a bigger purpose. I mean, that was the spark to kind of light my fire. So I left corporate America. I ended up opening up a gym locally. And then what organically grew out of that was peak performance, mindset, accountability coaching, right? Because we don't have a shortage of gyms necessarily in the world, but yet how many people still struggle to get in shape, be the best version of themselves physically and mentally. And we all face the same battle. Dave, you face it, I face it. It's that battle in between our ears, right? In our mind.
Yeah.
And I also carried some things that I had been doing for some time in my late teens, 20s and 30s to 40s, abusing alcohol on the weekends, porn, just things that were kryptonites in my world. Yeah. And I still remember this instance where I was teaching a fitness class at my gym at 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning. And I had spent Friday night hanging out with my buddies in the neighborhood till 2 or 3 in the morning. And my wife said, "How are you going to teach a fitness class and you stink of alcohol?" And it was one of those.
Your wife told you that?
Yes, my wife did. It was one of those truth bombs that I totally get now. And the fact that in 2022, I said no to both of those things. I said they were brakes on the car that I was looking to drive really fast, and eliminating those has definitely transformed my life. And now feel much, much clearer, much more energized, much more in my true state of purpose. And it's been amazing journey.
Yeah. Well, it's fantastic. So you've gone from personal trainer in a gym to coach now, have you?
That's correct.
Yeah. Yeah. So shall we dissect that journey so that we can see what you looked at in terms of, because obviously it's good to look back. I mean, it's not good to stay stuck in your past, obviously, as you know, with the personal development work that we've both done, but to move forward and stay in the present, obviously, and move, forward. It's good to be informed by the past, to learn from it, to know what to do. So perhaps we could do that as a lesson along.
So, the big lesson I love to take from looking at the past, and I feel like perspective after the fact is such a very powerful thing, where even my mom's passing, right? Worst experience I've ever had as a human being, losing her, still feel it to this day, still feel it on a daily basis. But now I like to keep that pain close to me and not to crawl in a corner, but to inspire me to live each day to the fullest, right? To play all out, that today's a gift that we'll never get back. And when we can do that, and it takes time, right? That didn't happen overnight after I lost her. It took repetitions, took time to really dive into it. But when you go through that transformation of turning pain into purpose, it's incredibly powerful. Even the story I shared of my wife giving that truth bomb of like, how are you going to teach a fitness class when you stink of alcohol? Great nugget of truth. And especially I have 2 sons. One's going to be 14, one's going to be 12. I mean, setting an example for them is very incredibly powerful. And Dave, I think you muted your microphone by possibility.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
It's real life, right? Stuff happens. So we roll with it.
Yeah. Sometimes when I take the quick cough or whatever, I forget to unmute it because normally I don't do this. So, I've been there myself, Jeff. So I know exactly, what you're talking about. And, luckily the addiction wasn't a real serious one. It's very much what some men do, don't they? Really, they've drank a bit, they'll drink a bit more under depression, and then the porn bit. Well, I wasn't so much into porn, but that kind of crept in a little bit. But it obviously wasn't my behavior, but so it was abnormal. But my mum died of breast cancer as well, by the way. But I also had a brother that died in a car crash just before that, so she got the thing, a few months after, and things were up and down. So I know exactly that was a bad patch in my life, and so the whole thing is that I was into my fitness more. I was an athlete, a field athlete, and then it kind of, when I stopped that, obviously, as fitness is good, feeling endorphins and everything else, your well-being. And if you some sports people stop, and it suddenly, goes the other way if you don't sort of maintain anything really. So
it's that consistency over time. Consistency, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
it's every single day put in the work, right? I love the Navy SEALs, on the back of their membership card or whatever they get when they graduate. It's earn your trident every day, right? Every day, earn that and put in the work, put in the effort. And each day you get an opportunity to do that. And we are physical beings, right? We're meant to move. Exercise is a small component of that larger movement circle,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
We're getting up more. We're moving throughout our days. You don't need to hammer out a huge weightlifting session or do 200 burpees. No. What you need to do is move throughout your day. And that gives you incredible energy that will transfer over into your personal life and your professional life. And I feel like so many people miss that correlation of, I don't know why I'm getting the results. Well, you don't do any exercise all day long, your energy level is going to be very low. One of the biggest correlations to success and living a fulfilled life is having that zest and energy. If that's not up, people feel it, right? Even non-verbally, they feel this lack of energy. Well, then your results are going to kind of be in that same manner.
No, absolutely. And there's people that they probably want to take the car everywhere, don't even walk, that kind of thing. If you haven't got a car and you have to walk, then that makes it, much easier to go out and do exercise. But it's a simple thing of leaving your car behind and maybe, or if you commute, take that one stop, further behind and walk, or even walk fast or something like that,
Right. And there's a magic number related to it. And Kelly McGonigal has it in her book, Joy of Movement, where it's 5,649 steps. That's the number. If you get that number or below, you're basically it's like taking a pill where you're going to be more anxious and more depressed. Yeah. So moving, walking, I do an afternoon walk every day, and it's tremendous to get out. One in nature, put the phone away.
Nature's good.
Just walk and be creative and in your own thoughts. And so many times we don't give ourselves that opportunity because we're going. We're busy. You gotta take those micro moments and soak it in.
I like a good round of golf every now and then as well.
There you go. I do too. I'm not very good, but I like getting out on the golf course.
Yeah. So as long as you can hit the ball and it's great every time you get that, driver, hitting 200 yards or so.
Or sink a long putt, and then
Yeah,
that'll have you coming back, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's all fun. It's all good. Yeah. So I just thought I'd share with you my side so that we know, we do have a story, and everyone does tend to have a story anyway, backstory. What was your background anyway? Was you always a personal trainer, or?
So no, I spent many years in corporate America. So from finance perspective, supply chain, small Fortune 500 companies, some consulting companies. So I've always had a background as a coach. So I've coached youth sports 20 plus years, even before my sons were born. I love that competitive. Sports teach us so much about life, teamwork, discipline, effort. Getting up after a loss or getting knocked down. So I've always been into sports and coaching overall. Now it's just truly getting in line to where my sweet spot is, where my passion is, and then letting it flow. And that's where, the authenticity, the energy comes from. Is I'm right in line to, I know what I should have been doing all along. And I finally stepped into it.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. Yeah, I've always been around coaches because I did track and field from school days, really. But as I said, it was kind of like periods of patches. Well, if I got injured or just lost a bit of interest, or the kind of student life age of 18 to 21, right. It was kind of touch and go. So that the discipline has to be there if you want to get results. I did get some results, but it has to be there. So if when I had a good season, it's because I was consistent with my training. I was disciplined, that kind of thing, really. So, but
and that's where so many people miss that consistency piece, right? Where they think they can do something for 2 weeks and they're going to get results. The issue is with consistency, we are so wired into, when is it going to happen? When am I going to get this result? And if you would just divorce yourself from the result and say, I'm just going to be consistent. Eventually I'll get there. I don't know when, but I am fully committed. So many more people would be successful in what they're chasing, what they're looking to strive towards.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So just to give some people some inspiration with your story, tell us the point of when you maybe hit that epiphany, and probably it might have been what I've told you, I don't know, and then turn things around, and then talk about how you went about turning things around to get you where you are today and learn about what you did do today. So that's the journey we want to really know about, because that's where people will really take that template and use it, the listeners.
So there was breadcrumbs, right, to get me there. One was obviously that conversation with my wife, and then just having this voice in my mind and head that said, this is not serving you as a human being. It's not helping you in any way. It's detracting from your relationships with my wife, my kids, people around me. And then finally stepping into fear and having the courage to say, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore. And it's interesting because I had made the decision myself in January of this year. I started in the new year. I said, 0 alcohol, 0 porn. I didn't tell my wife till February 14th on Valentine's Day. But when I told her, she said, you know what? I like you better when you don't drink. I said, all right, there's another benefit. And then I went public with it. And one of the ways to hold yourself accountable is go public with it. Tell everybody. Now, 99% of people don't really care what you're going to do. They're not going to hold you to it, but there is a switch subconsciously in our minds that gets flipped when you put it out in the public, because you don't want to look like a liar. So then you're fully committed and you're in and you're going. So, there was those micro moments, those breadcrumbs that happened as I was going through the journey. And I just knew that I needed to get rid of those 2 kryptonites that were really holding me back. And they were so interconnected, right? If I'm hanging out with buddies on Friday night, drinking beer till 2 a.m. I don't work out on Saturday, or I don't do the things I should. Maybe I look at porn, and it's just such a vicious cycle that so many of us can get into.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah. I had a double double life of drinking with my fire service friends, and also my socializing friends outside of fire service. So a double life of drinking, really. But it wasn't so heavy because obviously I was so into my athletics, and I was sort of competing at national level. But I mean, even some top sports people, Michael Phelps got caught, with alcohol and an alcohol problem as well, didn't he? So it's not something I know that it can happen to anyone. That's what I'm trying to say. So,
yeah.
So right, okay. So that was a turnaround, and then what did you do after that?
Then it's just being consistent on a daily basis of, hey, I'm sticking to my guns. Obviously there were some more challenging times when, the family goes away on a trip together. Then you're around alcohol, you're around everybody else is having drinks. Listen, if that's your thing, I've got nothing against you. That's just not my path anymore.
Yeah.
And hey, I would tell my wife at 10 o'clock, all right, I'm going to bed. She'd say, no, you're not allowed to go to sleep yet. I'm like, listen, I'm getting up, I'm going on a run, or I'm working out.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that I was around are like, how does he do it? Well, how does he do it? I've made a commitment to myself first. And that's the first part, right? Make that commitment to yourself. Have enough self-love that you are worth it to make a commitment to yourself. Yeah. And then you're going to show up so much better for all those around you. So it was just feeling the effects, doing the positive effects of not having those two things in my life. And then wiring those to how I'm feeling. I mean, I'm 47 years young. I'll tell you, Dave, I'm in the best shape of my life.
Yeah.
At 47, where I look back on my 20s and I'm like, man, if I just took those two things off, I would have been crushing it back then, but I'm happy to do it now. And now I get to teach my sons about it, right? Where, hey, they're into sports and they want to do these amazing things. I'm like, I'm telling you, alcohol totally stops the things you're doing in the gym, right? Your body, it's a toxin. Your body just doesn't respond to it. And they hear it, they see it now. And I'm leading through examples. So that's the greatest gift I've been given is to be a father and be able to lead my sons now in a way that wasn't really talked about in my household. And I don't know if too many households talk about it as deep as I'm getting into it now, but it's a great place to lead from and show what can happen. And then the transformation physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, it's pretty powerful.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Okay, so tell us more about your work then. So you led on to transforming from personal training into coaching, or was you still personal training when you was trying to do some coaching as well, or how did that kind of evolve?
I had a little overlap as we were going through it, but I was going through the journey myself, and I said, "Wow, this is working for me. I bet you there's others that this could work for." So road tested, beta tested, got some great results with clients. And now that's what I do full time. And I will say, the three main characteristics I bring to any coaching client relationships: accountability, right? Every single day, you're going to have somebody you're accountable to. Yes. And that's so important, from your track days. While we grow up, we have parents, we have teachers, we have coaches. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's like we're released to the wild and we have zero accountability, anybody to hold us to what we need to do. So accountability is the first kind of ingredient. Second is energy. I mean, imagine having somebody that's cheerleading, who is getting after it himself every single day and sending you that positive, uplifting messages. That's the other second component. And then the third is just the consistency piece. We're going to do this day after day. When you do it day after day, all of a sudden you start to hardwire these habits, these rituals, these routines at night, in the morning. And it's going to give you incredible focus, incredible energy. You're going to live in a state of gratitude, and you're going to be in purpose. And when you can operate from that way, each day is an opportunity, each day's, a gift. And you get up on your toes and you're attacking rather than how so many people play. They play defense, right? They're on their heels. Life is happening to them. And they just feel overwhelmed. That's why anxiety, stress, depression are all-time highs. And I love to flip the script and say, you do have a choice. It's time for you to take back control, and let's start together. I'm going to be with you every step of the way. And it's amazing to watch the transformation in people.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's fantastic. So there was an overlap, and now you're coaching full time. That is your profession now. You're not even in the corporate world anymore, I guess, as well, because some people do both. You know, they kind of do part time, and because
Yep.
they,
No,
you know,
I'm out there. I'm out there without a safety net, loving every day. Obviously, there's, I have those days just like everybody where you have some dips, but
yeah,
the key is to figure out how to bounce off those dips quicker, get back into it, and continue to press and push forward.
yeah, no, absolutely. So, tell people more about your coaching practice and where they can find you and any books that you have. I mean, I'm not sure that I didn't forget to ask if you have a book out there actually.
Yeah, so they can go out to themorningfire.com. So it's www.themorningfire.com. Got a ton of free content out there. They can book a complimentary session for me. I always say those conversations are so vital because then I can guide and direct based upon where you're at in the process, right? Some people say, I'll just buy my course or let's do one-on-one coaching. I love to have a conversation because I don't think every individual is unique. Some people might really need one-on-one. Some might just need a blueprint that they can go from. So I would go out to my website, grab a time to speak to me. If you want to grab my book, it's out on Amazon. It's Rise, Fight, Love, Repeat, Ignite Your Morning Fire. I'm out on all major social channels, so you can check out. I put a ton of free content out there to move the needle, inspire, and motivate. So check me out.
Fantastic. And no, I mean, I love the fact that the key thing is accountability and consistency. Now you work hand in hand actually. So to be consistent, you need to be accountable to keep that consistency up, and so that is a cycle that will keep working as well. Amongst the other things you spoke about as well, energy. So that was fantastic. I really enjoyed hearing your story today, Jeff. I know it was a short one, but I'm sure I'll have you on the show again. When another topic comes up that you can cover for me as well. But in the meantime, thanks a lot for coming on the show and sharing this with my audience today.
Dave, thanks for having me.
That's all for this episode. Thanks for listening. And remember, if you want to support what we do, then share, subscribe, and leave a review over on Apple Podcasts. Or head over to my website, davepalmer.com, and click on Rate Show. Well, that's all for now, but I'll see you in the next episode of The Dave Palmer Show.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.